All right, hello, Algebra 1. We're going to finish up our notes today with solving quadratics in a variety of ways. So there's pretty much two ways of doing these. We've got the factoring and we've got the quadratic formula. We know the factoring you have when A is 1, you just find factors of C that add up to B. But if A is not 1, then you do the slide method and do that same step, but make sure you take it away. But say something looks too intimidating, you could always just put it into the quadratic formula. So let's go ahead and look at number 1. So the first thing I'm looking at is, does it have a GCF? So if we look at number 1, we've got 2, 10, and 8. Well, yeah, that has a GCF. It has a GCF of 2. So I divide all of those by 2. So we're at x squared plus 5x plus 4. Okay, so now we have a coefficient of 1, and this makes it really easy. So we just find 4. We got 1, 4. We've got 2 and 2. And well, duh, we're going to use a 1 and 4, both being positive because we want to get a positive 5. So I plug it in. I got x plus 1, x plus 4. Next thing you got to do is set them both equal to 0. So x plus 1 equals 0, and x plus 4 equals 0. Solve. So I'm going to subtract 1 on both sides. X equals -1. Subtract 4 on both sides. X equals -4. Bada bing, bada boom. We're done with the first one. Number 2. Ooh, those numbers are big and scary. So what I'm going to do is the quadratic formula, because why not? You can. It'll still work. So we find A, B, and C. A is 7, B is -38, and C is -24. So remember our equation, I'll go ahead and write it out for you. We've got -b plus or minus radical b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Beautiful. So we go ahead and plug it in. First thing we're doing is the opposite of b. So if b is -38, that means we're going to put a positive 38. So 38 plus or minus radical. I got b squared, which is -38 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 7, c, which is -24, all over 2 times a, which is 7. So if I simplify that in my calculator, I've got 38 plus or minus radical 2,116, all over 14. Well, I'm still simplifying it, and the square root of 216 is 46. So I have 38 plus or minus 46 all over 14. So remember, once I get into that, I split it into 2, where I've got 38 plus 46 over 14, and 38 minus 46 over 14. Well, I can simplify that one, and it gets me 6. This one gets me -0.57. That's okay to have decimals, just round, nothing too crazy. We did that one not too long ago. Okay, gotta love a quadratic formula. A little bit more work, but it makes it easier rather than finding factors of giant numbers. Okay, next one I'm looking at. Ooh, that one's weird because I want it in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, or, equals 0 or equals y. And this one, it does not. It's equal to x squared. So I want to move over all this crap and put it on that side. So I can't just move it. I have to move it mathematically by doing inverse operations. So this positive 11x is going to be moved over by subtracting, and that -28 is going to be moved over by adding. So x squared minus 11x plus 28. Well, let's go ahead and factor it. So is there a leading coefficient? No. So I need to find factors of 28. Well, factors of 28, we got 128. We've got 2 and 14. We've got 4 and 7. Oh, well, if I want a -11, I know I'll use 4 and 7, but they'll both be negative. So we've got x minus 4, and we've got x minus 7. Next thing I got to do is set them equal to 0. So x minus 4 equals 0, x minus 7 equals 0, Add 4 on both sides, so x equals 4. Add 7 on both sides, so x also equals 7. So there's that one. Let's finish it up with number 4. Go ahead and pause my voice, give it a shot, and then play it when you're ready. All right, so as you can see, our goal is to find factors of 45 that add up to negative 14. We know we're going to use 5 and 9. They're both going to be negative, so we plug them in. Then we set them equal to 0 and solve, so your answer should have been 5, 9. So if you guys are still confused on that or need extra help, please let us know. And keep in mind, if that had a coefficient, once you would get to this step, you would divide whatever that coefficient is by those two numbers. All right, so go ahead and get started on that worksheet. If you need help, let us know. Bye!